Welcome back to another episode of Rivals on the Pitch podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm here, your favorite Arsenal supporter. Favorite rival on the pitch is back. We are still one down, though. Alan couldn't make it. He said he had more important things to do. Because the show, I would never abandon you guys, but see, some of us just can't commit. That's the... No, in all seriousness, it is, summertime and, things are kind of slow. So, we take it easy. But we are here still weekly, committed to you. And we have a pretty awesome episode today. We're going to talk about transfers and everything that's going on in the league, friendlies, Club World Cup finals. Little surprises there. And we'll see how the teams are lining up going into the season. As of now, when this episode drops, we will be about 1 month out from the beginning of the Premier League, which is basically nothing. 1 month will fly. And there's certainly offers, rejections, and
takebacks
going around the league and outside of the league. So let's dive in, man. How are you doing?
I'd be better if Alan was here. What's her name again? Yeah, he was too busy going international, man, trying to spread the word out there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say it in Europe. You got to pick up some languages so you can translate this.
I know we're going to eventually do this in multiple languages, so, we get international following. But, happy to be back. It's been a while. I miss doing this. But you know what?
If you missed it, you would have been back sooner, or you would have took the laptop with you. So there you go. Commitment, right? He's talking about Alan, but there you go.
But I will say, I still was glued to my phone with this Gyökeres deal on off. He's flying, he's not flying, this much money, and then we make the bid. Arsenal make the bid, and they don't accept it. And I'm just so tired of it. I was about to unfollow Fabrizio on Instagram.
What's worse, the Sesko or the Gyökeres? I mean, it's almost the same thing, but it's...
I think we're finally settling on Gyökeres. From what I understand, it is the deal's like this much, but his team, Sporting, is being a bit of a pain about the money that they want. They basically, I think they wanted to get like somewhere between 80 and 90, maybe close to 100 with add-ons, which was not realistically. And the thing, he wants to come to Arsenal. Gyökeres wants to come to Arsenal.
Yeah,
he's dead set on it. I think he knows that Arsenal need a center forward, a target man, a poacher, a striker, and he knows that he can fill in that spot. Whereas in maybe other teams, you might have to fight for it. I'm sure he believes he can make a difference at Arsenal, so he's dead set on it. And the Sporting are just making it difficult. I've read that even his agents are taking a cut on the commission to lessen the money that Arsenal have to pay to Sporting, so Sporting does get more essentially. But from what I understand, it's about 67 million euros with 10 million in add-ons, so it could be up to 70 something, which is what they were really looking for. Listen, they want easy add-ons. They want something that's like, if he scores like 10 goals, we get the money type of deal.
Or they're not going to win the championship. Easy money.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They should make it an add-on. Like, if he wins the league with us, we'll pay it. Because then we'll have the money. It's a good incentive. Yeah. And if Arsenal win the league, 10 million for the player that's going to get us over the line is going to feel like nothing at the end of the day.
And the thing too is now everyone is doing installments, so it's like,
exactly,
it's okay. Maybe I can afford to do it because you're not paying it all at once. So I mean, It does seem a little more doable than paying all that money up front and then waiting for the add-ons. But whatever. I mean, it is sort of a wreck. I mean, I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so for me it's chill. But you just want to hear something concrete. But I can only imagine you know, every
Yeah.
notification, and it's not the one you want to hear. It's not the here we go. It's
Yeah.
the we're almost
Almost here we
there.
go. Yeah. But it seems like it's coming to an end finally. I think we are gonna get it over the line. From what I understand, Friday's the day where he's coming to do the medical. So once he lands in London, I think it's a done deal. And I saw pictures of him at an airport. I don't know, could have been old pictures, but let's hope we get it over the line. I think, I'm sure, as you know, there's been a lot of discontent with the Nani Madueke rumors and signings, which I think it's pretty much done already. I think a lot of that discontent comes from the fact that we hadn't done the deal we actually needed to get done. I mean, the rumors from Nani Madueke came before we even announced Zubimendi. So I think that was a big part of it. Obviously, another one being that we're buying another Chelsea player for what people thought maybe was still a little too much money. But I think had we done the Hooker SDO, I don't think it would have been as big of a pride hit to the Arsenal fan base. But listen, at the end of the day, if we get the actual striker, I don't care
Who you
if we
sign?
get I don't care if we get a Tottenham player at the end of the day. Like as long as we got what we need, you know, then do whatever else you want to do. We'll trust it.
Trust
So
the process, right?
exactly.
Still.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's
We
kind of
got.
funny to see it though, but it's just you need a striker, and you're finally going for the striker, and then it's like I'm not trying to say like it's almost like Spursy in a way. It's almost like Arsenal in a way, where are you going to get the striker or not? Because it's
It's.
dragging off, and it's like you're trying to, but then at the end you don't end up getting the striker, and then it's like, well, without
I
a
just
striker again.
listen, man. Fabrizio Romano is living off of Arsenal rumors at this point. So, but yeah.
If not, go for
Um,
Nicholas Jackson, right? He's another Chelsea player.
I know people are saying if we don't
Right?
get
Why
this over
not?
the line, my God, if we put in a bid for that guy, I think it's over. But speaking of strikers, I did read a crazy rumor today
Oh,
that Liverpool are essentially playing a little bit of the pressure game. Um, they are going after, and I cannot remember their name, but they're going after a striker from Frankfurt, I believe, who
and
has
Teke or
been.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been a main target of Newcastle, and from what I understand, the deal's pretty
Yep.
close. They've agreed on personal terms. So I know there's been a lot of rumors with Luis Diaz to Bayern. I believe they put a bid which was rejected by Liverpool. I
Yeah.
know there's been some interest from Barcelona since they didn't get Nico Williams. I know Nunes has been basically on his way out for
Yeah.
maybe a season already. So I think Liverpool will have the cash to spend to put down on Isak from Newcastle. So
I
from what I
mean,
understand
from
is
what I've heard, we still have plenty of money to
I mean, you won the league. You didn't spend in
yeah.
the summer. You didn't
Say that
spend in the
again. I think you're
winter.
catching. I think your connection must have gone off.
Oh
What
wow!
happened?
You
What
know
did we
what?
do? We won the league.
It's old news, but yeah, we have to
Yeah. Oh wow.
reiterate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from what I understand is that they've basically told Newcastle, choose which one you want to keep because we're taking one of them. You either sell us Isak or we're taking your target player. So how do you feel about that? Is that kind of aggressive?
Um,
But you know,
it is aggressive, but I sort of like the what we're doing this window. We went aggressively for Florian Wirtz, which was great. Yeah, we did have to haggle a little bit, but you know, it's not the Jokeris situation we have going on like you guys, but it was just a little bit add-ons. We finally reached it, but it was quick. I like that. Usually we don't spend this type of money unless it's something that we're very certain in. But of course, for me, Isaac seems like the good option. But I thought the plan was for us to first sell, you know, Nunez if that happens, so it frees up space and we have more cash for it. But if you do have Isaac and Nunez does stay, then you have, you know, more striker. I mean, I'll be fine if Nunez stays. I'd be content if we didn't even get a striker maybe this window. I mean, Isaac is proven, and I think him with Diaz and Salah, and then even Chiesa and Gapco, I think that'd be scarier than what we had last season. Isaac was right behind Salah up there for the Golden Boot. If all those players are firing, then that's a scary that's a scary up front. But I mean, I sort of like it. Yeah, if we're playing hardball, do it. And if it works out, great. And if not, at least we had the backup with I believe it's Inteke from Frankfurt. He's still a good forward. He's not the one we want, but we won't know the quality he has until he gets onto the team. But I mean,
Yep.
I'd rather take someone from the German league than from the Portuguese league, honestly. As we've discussed. But
Yeah, I mean,
right now it's wait and see. We still got plenty of time still in the window, but it's interesting. I did see that rumor as well, and it's a good thing you brought that up. It is interesting to see what will be.
it's
Well,
I'm sure for all the Liverpool fans, it's nice to see Liverpool be aggressive in the market, because Isaac has been, I think, on everyone's wish list, but it's been a very unrealistic pickup for any team. I think Newcastle have him for a long time, and
yeah,
they're looking to get back to the team that they once were, a challenging team with European competitions every year. So they need that type of player if they want to be in the
yeah,
same level as Liverpool, City, Arsenal,
yeah.
Chelsea. They need that high caliber player, and
And they're
Isak's been,
showing it too
yeah,
by they signed Alanga from Nottingham Forest, so they're
that's
showing
right,
that
yeah,
they're investing in the squad, especially up front. So if you
yeah,
have Alanga with what's it called with I forgot
uh,
that with
Gordon
Anthony
as well,
Gordon
yeah,
and Isaac, yeah,
yep.
that's a scary combo.
Yep, and then all of a sudden the Murphys and stuff like that, they can sit on
Yeah,
the bench and come on for the League Cup games, and that they have a little bit more quality depth,
yeah,
and
exactly.
they enhance their first team options. So yeah, I mean, so I think it's very crucial that they keep Isak because I think he's probably their best player.
Yeah,
Um, so it's gonna be hard to turn down that kind of money that Liverpool are going to be possibly putting down, which I heard is 120 million. That could buy them two very decent players.
yeah,
Um, and with the whole you know PSR, they have to keep their checkbook in line too. So they could spend that money on someone who's worth maybe 80. I mean, for the money that
yeah.
Arsenal are going
Sesko,
to
right?
be. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, right?
They could have some money to spare and buy a player that's you know worthy of a starting for the type of team that they want to be. So it's I'd be surprised if it ends up happening, but at the same time, money. We mentioned this so many times. Money talks. So
Yeah, money
you know,
talks, man. I mean, I'd be surprised, but I honestly don't see Isaac leaving Newcastle. Maybe it's a pipe dream to have him on Liverpool, but I just think we should focus on on someone else. But I mean, it would be great. That'd relieve the pressure off Salah, and maybe Diaz can come back alive. Gapco. I mean, we'll see what happens. But I just honestly think that Isaac is going nowhere this year. Depends how the season plays out, maybe next year. But for now, I think Isaac is going to be wearing black and white this season.
yeah. But it's interesting to see. I have also heard another rumor. Speaking of attacking options, I've heard Mateta has been ringing around the Liverpool
Yeah,
side. Is this
I
in
just saw that
case
too.
Nunes or Luis Diaz leave? Is he going to be like an option for that?
To think of it, maybe it could be, but I mean, you see rumors all the time. And I saw we might even go for Rodrigo, who is also rumored for Arsenal as
Yep.
well. I could see that happening, but I honestly don't see Diaz leaving at the moment. I think the most likely one that I can actually see leaving is, Nunez. Diaz, they're still trying to work something out. There's still plenty of time. Maybe he'll start the season, and when the winter window happens, we'll see what happens till then. But I honestly think Diaz will stay. I mean, it's a tricky situation. He's probably getting the backlash from the whole Jota thing, and then dealing with. I mean, I know that he's not one of the highest wages earners, but we'll see what can happen. But I mean, he says he wants to stay. But that's the thing. You hear so many rumors on social media. You hear he's
Yeah.
unhappy. Yes, he wants to go to Barcelona. He wants to stay. Some say contract negotiations are going well. Some say they aren't. They're off. You don't know. Once it's all set in stone and it's official, or you hear from the player's mouth or the coach's mouths, then it's something to latch onto. But till then, it's just like a normal day. I'm not leading too much into that whole Diaz drama. But I think Mateta would be fine. But I think there's better options, honestly, with the money that we can afford to spend.
Yeah.
I think there are better options, honestly.
Yeah, I mean Rodrigo. I think, as you said, he's also been linked to Arsenal.
Yeah.
From I don't know how true the rumors are, but I've heard that his agents say that he's interested in the Premier League and basically nowhere else. That there was interest from the Saudi league, which they turned down
Yeah.
immediately. Player like him, I think Real Madrid are not being smart if they're willing to let him go. From what I've seen with Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. in the Club World Cup and in the past Champions League, I think they have a clear ego problem there that they need to solve.
Yeah.
That and that's been an issue with like Mbappe that we've known before. I mean, when Messi, Neymar, and all of them were playing PSG, there was so many videos of them going around with it. They just don't defend. They just sit up top, wait
Yeah.
for the ball, and that's never been, as you can see the way PSG play now, that was never the tactics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They play as a team. They press together as a team. I
And you
think
see what
that's
happens.
exactly.
Champions
Yeah,
League before Mbappe, man. You go join
exactly.
the Galacticos over there, and you lose to PSG.
So
PSG showed up.
exactly. So I think letting Rodrigo go is a big mistake for Madrid. I think they should be sticking with players who want to be there, who want to play, who want to do what the manager tells them to do. So I think you would be a great pickup for any team in the Premier League where there's clearly interest from multiple teams. And
Yeah.
from what I understand, it's a mutual interest. He doesn't want to come to the Premier League. I don't think he's going to find any other team in La Liga. I don't think he's going to end up at
Yeah.
Barcelona, which might only be the only team that could possibly put down the money, even though they're broke. But somehow they get
Yeah.
it. They always get it.
Yeah.
Um,
They
so I think
find
it has to
loopholes, man.
be, yeah, it has to be the Premier League. And yeah, I mean, I would love to have him at Arsenal. I think if we close out the Jokeres deal, uh, we get Rodrigo. I think that's a good window there for Arsenal with the pickups that we have already gotten. I think that would be a team that could get us over the line, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like you said, with Luis Diaz, I don't know. I mean, Alan has mentioned it before, you know, as a Colombian
Barça,
follower of the
porfa.
player. We know that all these players, Barcelona, Real Madrid, that's like the end goal always. Doesn't matter where they
Yeah.
play, doesn't matter how much money they make or how much playing time they get, playing for a team like that, it's like a goal in its own.
I mean, that's sort of like South American football, the way they play. So it makes sense for them to jump into that. And of course, you're speaking Spanish, your native language. You don't got to learn Scouse or English, But
Exactly.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's the goal for everyone, honestly. To join Real Madrid and Barcelona. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But Liverpool in a bad spot, especially in the position we are. And I mean, it's just maybe the uncertainty of Barcelona with all their financial situations are going. I think they're trying to lock down contract extension for De Jong again, but they're trying to cut his wages now by by a big amount. So
How
really,
many times
and
have they tried to get rid of that guy?
I know, but he's happy there, and now they want to extend, and
I
now
know.
they but you're gonna have to take a big pay cut. Like really, I'm gonna be in my prime, and you wanted to give me a pay cut? I'll go somewhere else, or I'll just keep milking it. But then again, you mentioned Real Madrid. Yeah, but that's Xabi Alonso thing. I mean, Mbappe. I don't even think Carlo Ancelotti wanted him. That's more of like the Perez situation. The
Yeah.
president, he wanted
Yeah.
him. He wanted, like I
Wants
said,
to sell the
Galacticos.
jerseys.
They want to get all the superstars, and we saw how that worked out with back in the day with Zidane, Beckham, Roberto
Oh yeah.
Carlos, all those. I mean, they
Yeah, I
weren't able
mean,
to pull that stuff out, but I mean, write it out. I think Liverpool's where it's at right now for him. Finish the season off, and then we can talk about something else later on. But I mean, you're on a high right now. I would say keep riding it. And like I said, Barcelona is uncertain. Real Madrid looks like a mess. New coach, all these, not as divas, headstrong players. Are you going to play? We'll see. But stay at Liverpool for now. Is what I'm saying, and that's what I think he's going to do. I think he's going to stay.
All right. But Nunes, you think he's gone? I
I
know
saw this
Napoli
post.
officially
Yeah,
pulled out.
yeah, pulled out, and then I forgot who else was going after him. I was just on the tip of my tongue. It was another team that showed up that wanted to get him. It was, and of course, Saudi is always looking. Oh, I think it was AC Milan.
Okay.
Or yeah, I think AC Milan was looking at him. But I mean, I saw this post where he's like, when Nunez was turning it up in the Portuguese league, he had the buzz cut, and
Yeah.
and that's when he was had like his best season. So I was like, maybe. And then we did see the little preseason or friendly game buzz cut. He was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Usually, he pulls a Jarwizzi, but he was able to do it, and he got a goal. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a big Darwin Nunez fan. Maybe keep him if you don't get anyone until the winter window and see what happens. If he does well, keep him. Maybe he can live up to the price tag. I mean, I like it. I like him. I like his pressure and everything. But if not, then you have. I mean, you still have Salah. You still have Chiesa, Gapco, Diaz. They can
Yep.
all play. The nine or whatever. But we'll see. I'm a fan. I would like to give him maybe to the winter window to see what happens. But if not, no, thank you. But we'll see. There's like I said, there's still plenty of season left. I mean, in the transfer window left, but we'll see.
Yeah. So Alan's not here, but we do have to bring it up with this whole scenario that's going on between Forest and Tottenham. Maybe some legal battles ahead of us. From what I understand, is that Gibbs White has a release clause, right?
Yeah, that's what I
And
heard as well. Yep.
so Tottenham reached out to the player, and then Nottingham Forest said foul play. They said you're not allowed to talk to the player without reaching out to us yet because we have to agree to the move. And then basically Tottenham's like, well, if he has a release clause, we don't have to talk to you. We could just
Yeah.
pay the release clause. So I
They're
don't
like,
know.
how did you find out about that? That's why they're saying it
Yeah.
was a little tricky. That's why they're like, how'd you guys know about that?
Yeah, we mentioned before. I think he would be a good pickup. He's someone that Manchester City had been looking at, maybe to replace Fernando Silva. Is kind of hitting the high numbers in his age, and Jack Grealish is most likely on his way out. So that was a player that they had been looking at for a while. I think it would have been a good pickup for Tottenham, but I don't know how likely it is to happen now. From Tottenham's side, I've heard that they're very confident that they'll get it over the line, but I don't know. So
And
something.
then I even said that Gibbs White said, I want to go. I want to leave the club. I want to go to Spurs. I'd rather have him going to Spurs than Man City.
Me too.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I did hear the same thing, but they were saying like we request you to stop talking to our client, to our player, and it's like okay, so
Yeah.
how else did you know about that? Well, maybe he just let them know. You can
Yeah.
find anything on the internet nowadays. I don't
The
know, but
agents do most
yeah,
of the work,
agents. Yeah,
but so
so
many players, when they get asked about these teams that they've been rumored with, and they're like, oh, yeah, I don't know, I had
yeah,
never
that's
heard
my
anything
agent.
about it. Exactly, everything is behind closed doors,
Yeah,
but
at least
I
some
think
drama.
they definitely just don't want to lose out on these players because they did pretty well last season on the Forest. They
Yeah,
were pretty high up on the table, not a place where anyone expected them to be. But they had some pretty good players, and I'm sure they want to keep riding that high. They don't want to be
of
in the
course.
relegation battle this coming up, this season coming up. So, but it's gonna be a weird one to see if they get it over the line. Tottenham, I think, definitely need that kind of player, someone who can play on the wing, someone who can create chances, especially with Madison not being the fittest player.
Yeah.
He's a bit of an injury prone player. So I think they definitely need somebody else to kind of be that creative, unless they finally get Jack Grealish, who's been rumored to go to Tottenham
We
like
know
three
that's
seasons in
Alan's
a row.
favorite player, though, so we know he's ruined for that one.
I know, but yeah, we'll see if they get. I haven't heard any other rumors for Tottenham except for outgoing players. Romero with Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
I know still a rumor around that area. He does feel like a very Atletico Madrid player. You know.
Yeah, I can see him going, honestly. I mean, I don't know if he wants to be there for like a sort of a rebuild with, Thomas Frank. We don't know about that. maybe, I mean, he was really fed up because of last season, so maybe he
Yeah.
just wants something different. And like you said, Spanish South American players do tend to want to go to the Liga. Athletic Madrid does sound enticing. I mean, I
Yeah.
think one can say they're a much bigger club than Spurs, maybe. But that's it. Let Alan figure that. Let Alan let us know that next week. But
Yeah.
I mean, we do know that he is a good defender on his good days, especially when he plays for Argentina.
Yep.
But he's also somewhat of a loose cannon. He'll get you that red card. He'll make those plays, and he'll jeopardize the team. And you know, it's a double-edged sword there. But we'll see what happens. I think Allen would like to keep him, but you got to figure something out quick because we got the windows getting there, and you want to
Yeah.
make sure you have enough time to get a suitable replacement and incorporate them well into the team. Or else you're going to put Archie Gray in the back again. We'll see.
Funny thing is, we spoke about Mark Gahey from Crystal Palace being a
Yeah.
target for Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham. I think there was one more in the mix there, probably Chelsea, but
Yeah, Chelsea
he,
goes after everyone.
yeah, and I did see we've been keeping tabs on all the teams dropping their home kits, and Mark Gahey is in all of the promotional ads for the
Oh.
New Jersey. However, it was pointed out that Eze is not in any of them. So I wonder if that means anything. If they expect Eze to be a
Allen's
player
hoping
that's well,
for
I'm hoping
Spurs.
I'm hoping he comes to Arsenal. We need someone who could kind of
You need another midfielder. Didn't you just get two?
yeah. Well,
Or
we needed someone to take over for Odegaard when he's obviously didn't have the greatest season last
that's why he got
season.
his
So
cousin Nordegaard, whatever it is.
Odegaard, yeah, the double O with the slash. But
Yeah.
um, I mean, I think it would be a great pickup for Arsenal because we need the creative players. He's obviously a great striker of the ball, and then also be able to steal someone who Tottenham are after would be even better. Uh, but yeah, so he wasn't in the promotional ads. However, gay he was. I wonder if that means that he's probably going to stay, which means maybe Tottenham are not. It's not going to be easy for them to pick him up if Romero does leave.
I just think it's they're trying to make him look, you look good in a new kit. You got to stay, right?
Okay.
In some way. I don't know. You know how many times players have been in, the promos. They're just trying to milk it. They're trying to, sell jerseys. And then later, what happens? He's gone. And then, they're like, all right, we'll let you refund the jersey back and you get
Oh
another
yeah,
jersey of your choosing.
that's right.
As that's been done before. But yeah, if Eze hasn't been in the pictures, maybe it's because he's on holiday still, or it could be that it is maybe he's in the mix of a transfer or something. But I wouldn't look
Maybe.
too much into Gay in those pictures because I think depending on the Kunate situation with Liverpool, we might go into, and we do need another defender. I mean, other teams need defenders as well. But I just don't look too much into that promotion. It's just trying to
Yeah,
sell jerseys, man.
that's true. That's true. Um, so let's move on to United. I guess I haven't heard much. Not a lot of
So that
movement
was
there, but
quick, right?
I mean, the thing is that from what I understand, obviously they have Cunha. That's done deal,
Yeah,
right?
and then Buemo is
Um,
still a work in progress.
that's what I was gonna say is we have not heard anything. At this point I'm starting to believe the rumors were not true, and there was just like a wishful thinking kind of ideas were put out there, and then all of a
But
sudden
you
all
would
these rumors
want to
came
have a
about.
better wishful thinking, than Embuemo. I mean, he is good. I'll give him credit. But for Man United, you would probably want to go for like the Gyökeres, which was a rumor, even though it was
Yeah,
really far fetched. It wasn't going to happen. Those are the type of rumors or wish lists you're hoping for. But I mean,
I
Embuemo,
mean,
we'll
I
see.
just feel like considering they've been cost cutting at every corner, I feel
Really,
like
every
maybe
corner.
choosing safer players is best. Maybe some
Yeah,
lower money but safer because Cunha, he's gonna perform. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He's got that hunger. Obviously, there's a little bit of
yeah.
a um
Temper.
exactly, but he's gonna perform. If they get someone like Mbomo, I think he's a player that's very likely to get you at least 12 goals.
Yeah.
It's
And those
completely
are
different.
all Premier League players. So
Yeah, they'll hit
there's
the ground
not going to
running.
be that much of a transition period compared to other players. So yeah, I agree. They are looking at a safer route.
I think that's sensical. I think that's the way that they should be going. So Mbomo feels safe. I think I think if they were to go for like a Mateta type of player, I think that would be good because I mean, they finished so low in the table. I think you want players that are going to guarantee you performance
Yeah,
over signing someone who may not work for as much money as Arsenal are going to end up paying for Jokeres. It's a little bit more of a gamble for a team that can't take any risks right now. I think they
yeah,
have to get into the top six right now. So getting you players that are, consistent, they perform, and now playing at a maybe higher level team might just get you there. But I don't know, but they need so much right now. I mean, obviously, goalkeeper situation still hasn't been settled. I heard Emi Martinez might be someone that they might be
yeah.
reaching out
I
to. I think
and
that would
that's
be good.
someone that we did mention as well that would make sense. Yeah, of course he's a personality, and I think he will draw attention to Manchester United with his antics, but he's also, let's give him credit, he's a good goalkeeper, and that's what
He
they
is.
need. If a goalkeeper can keep you in the game, nil-nil draw, that's what? That's a point. That helps you move up the table. Anything, you know, you can't afford to get zeros. And sadly, Onana had his time. That's a very important position, and it's cost them with his mistakes. So I
Yeah.
think Emi Martinez would be a great buy, honestly. And again, he's another player who's in the Premier League, and that's
Yep.
what we're going with, the Premier League type of players. And it'd be safe, right? Yeah, I agree with that. And Wemo, if they can pull that off, great. Emi Martinez, if they can pull that off, great. Then that Manchester United team is looking somewhat
Yeah.
decent. It's an improvement.
Yeah, I think that they also, at least in my opinion, they definitely need a defensive midfielder that's somewhere in between Casemiro and what's his other young kid that they had, Mainu,
What?
Kobe Mainu.
Oh man, yeah,
So I think that the idea of bringing Casemiro in was someone who could bring Kobe Mainu up, transfer knowledge. But I think at the end of the day, they ended up relying on him so much. But Casemiro is a very, he's an older player, and I don't think
yeah,
he was physically, fit enough to play the Premier League pace. I think that when they brought Casemiro in, it would have been a better handled situation if they handled it the way that Arsenal handled Jorginho. We would literally come in, play the cup games, and then just come in at the last few minutes of games here and there, or just
exactly.
I think that would have been better,
Last
but they
minute.
relied on him so much like he was going to fix everybody's problem because he got a Real Madrid player who's a serial winner. But the
Yeah,
dude's over 30 playing in the Premier League. I think that's tough. You know, I think in comparison to Real Madrid, that, when you play in the Liga, you play in the lower teams, you're going to be dominating. Whereas in the Premier League, you could lose control of the game to a Crystal Palace, to a Brentford, to a Nottingham Forest,
yeah,
to a Brighton. It's not the same.
yeah,
Um, So I think they need a lot, but if they can get a goalkeeper down, if they can get another attacking player, then they're good because obviously they have to sort out the Garnacho deal, they have to sort out the Rashford
yeah,
deal. Zirkzee or Hoyland, I think, are
yeah.
probably out. I think one or the other is leaving.
Maybe
So
Hoyland. I mean, Xerxes is basically the newest player. I mean,
yeah,
Hoyland's been there a bit, like a year and a half, 2 years now. I think his time is. I mean, I like that he wants to stay and prove himself, but I mean, go on the loan, get your confidence, or just loan with option to buy. But I think his time at Man U right now, we're gonna see Ruben Amrin's type of players that he wants. And let's be honest, Hoyland doesn't fit it. Casemiro doesn't fit it. Onana doesn't fit it. Um, a lot of players are. Rashford is basically out. Like you said, Garnacho is out. How many players is that are already basically out? They're going with the hatchet. They're cutting limbs off right now, and they're
yep.
trying to
I
do a restart, but not a hard restart. Because that'll be you can't afford to do that with all the money they're spent on these players. They got to make up money somehow.
Yeah, I just think with so much manager turnover, they've been in a rebuild for almost a
Yeah,
decade now. I mean, yeah, it's been about a decade now where they've been in rebuilds, from David Moyes on. And they've seen
yeah.
what,
Oh,
how many managers? Ragnarik,
Van Hal.
yeah,
What's it called? Ole.
Ole. Then he had,
Yeah.
what was it?
Mourinho.
They also had Giggs. Giggs and
Oh
Michael
yeah, as a
Carrick.
little caretaker for a bit. Yeah,
Exactly.
man. Van
So
Nistelrooy. Oh my, it's just. I think they had more coach turnaround than players coming in. That's how bad it is
so I think they just have to tie someone down and keep them. Um,
for the long
and
haul, man. You just gotta
yeah,
ride it out,
gotta
honestly.
trust it a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, but we'll see what they do because they gotta get going. Like I said, we're about a month out from the first game of the season, and the first game is against Arsenal, which Arsenal's getting the business done.
they're looking scary compared
And
to
even
Man
it,
U.
and even if we don't get anything done, we're still a team that's been consistent for at least for the last 3 years. So,
Yeah.
um, they have a big uphill battle starting of the season, so they need to get things moving. All right, now let's move on to the World Cup champions,
Oh,
the
man.
underdogs. They're the champion
Can you
underdogs
be an
because
underdogs if you spent 3 billion or whatever it is?
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what someone
that's
said.
true. That is true. At the same time, though, I don't think anyone expected PSG to lose
Yeah,
to this Chelsea team with the way that they've been handling all these other
and
European.
not by that
Um,
much.
oh yeah, 3-0. I did see like a slow mo video of Cole Palmer's goal. Man, that he shows up when he needs to. When he needs to. Some, he's missing for some of the big games during the season, but in the finals, he's there. But yeah, Chelsea's another team that has a lot of outgoing players too. I've heard they're trying to get rid of Nicholas Jackson. They definitely
Yeah.
don't have any problem bringing players in. So,
Yeah.
um,
And they're
but
already starting João Pedro, Brighton, and
eh,
he's already leading the charge, scoring goals and
yeah.
everything.
See, that's what I'm saying. And they got João Pedro from Brighton for a decent amount of money. I think that's the sort of player that I think would help Manchester United. And they slept on him. I mean, and Bournemouth still isn't even at this point. I feel like they're moving farther back. Like I said, it's starting to feel like those rumors weren't even true to begin with how slow they've been moving in this window of Manchester United. So I think João Pedro would have been fantastic at Manchester United. That's a player that's like as we mentioned, Premier League
Yeah.
experience. Um, Eh, but Chelsea got him, and he's already making a difference. But they also got Delap from Ipswich, so I think Nicholas Jackson might be the first one to be cut from this
But
team.
they're asking for how much for him? And that is good luck trying to get someone who's going to pay that much for him. You
Yep.
got to be realistic, bro. At this point, just, cut them
Cut
cheap,
your losses.
Yeah, cut your losses, man. You're Chelsea. You'll find a loophole and sell a hotel, sell the women's team. You'll make that money back. So don't worry about
Yeah, I
pinching
agree.
pennies.
I agree. They have a good team. I think they showed what kind of team they can be last season. I have a feeling that they're going to do even better this season. Plus, they get all that Club World Cup money. If they really, I
Yeah,
think they got to sort out their goalkeeper situation as well.
yeah.
Um, you
That's
know,
a must right there. A must. It's the same situation like Manchester United goalkeeping, but they just sold their goalkeeper. I think what to I forgot, maybe it was Brentford or Bournemouth, but they just sold
yeah,
one. But yeah, they got to start investing and buying. I don't mind spending money on a goalkeeper, especially if it's going to be someone. Because like I said, goalkeeping is important. How
yeah,
many times? Yeah, as you can see with Manchester United, still 0-0, a clean sheet. Those help you win games. That's what you need. And Robert Sanchez isn't that type of goalkeeper, man.
yeah. And they did sell Kepa to Arsenal for 5 million.
Yeah,
That's another thing. They just cut their losses on that one. 5 million is
yeah,
nothing, and I think we got a pretty good keeper that's going to be a backup in
yeah,
the end. But I think that's the way they got to go with Jackson. I think you're right.
yeah.
I think
Especially
they have
with
to
you
just
just
cut their
won the
losses.
Club World Cup. That's already
Yeah,
covered your losses, man. Don't
you
worry
got
about
you
that,
got the
bro.
money.
Don't
You got the
worry. Yeah,
money.
you got it.
Uh, but like I said, it's weird that they got João Pedro and they lap now. What do you do with him? Like, is he gonna be content sitting on the bench? Because I feel like over the two, I would pick João Pedro, especially now that he's banging in the goals already. First game, 2 goals, gets him
Yeah.
in the final. Like, I don't know. It's a
And I also think you gotta think about Mudrik. What are you gonna do with this guy, man? You're paying a
I
guy to be on vacation for
listen.
that band, man. You gotta cut your losses there too.
Listen, I don't understand. Well, I feel like now they're going to learn from this mistake and they're going to put something like that in the contracts before the players sign that if you're caught doing something like that, your contract is,
Oh, oh, is that
null and void.
that's a good you think Arsenal should have done that with Party? Oh, there you
Uh,
go.
hey, maybe.
Oh,
Hey,
next time for that's
not
what they learn, right? For the
yeah,
future. There you go.
not
But
a problem. Not a problem anymore. We're,
yeah,
we
your
got our
favorite
a
player
new.
just left, but now, troubles, but in
No, but
paradise. But yeah,
I think it would be a good thing now to start adding to because that was a 10-year deal that he signed, wasn't it, Mudrik?
I think it was 8. I don't think 10.
Uh,
I think it was 8 years. Yeah, but
Okay,
still,
yeah.
it's
I remember when he
unheard
signed
of.
it, people were like, "That's not a contract. That's not a
I thought it
professional
was
player.
5.
That
5
that's
was
a
the max. I thought.
that's a jail sentence." and now,
Okay, man.
and now I'm sure it's Chelsea who feel trapped in this contract. But yeah, man, I don't know I don't know how they're able to pull this off, and they're still clear. I mean, from what I understand, there has been some backlash. I think they did get fined or something like that, but I mean, what's money to them? You know what I mean? I think you're right. I think they should cut their losses. They won this competition that was basically like a glorified friendly competition. I know it's like you know, it's a club World Cup, so it's a big
Yeah.
competition, but the way that it was organized to me doesn't feel like anything super official. But at the end of the day, they do get the money for it. It's like Champions League money. It's a
It's
lot.
a little more than Champions
Yeah,
League money. I
yeah. I think
saw the pay on it, the payout, but it was like wow. And
yeah,
every 4 years, that's fine. And then they get to with a little,
yeah. The little
Club
patch.
World Cup pass for 4 years. It must be nice to be Chelsea. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
congrats. They're the team that's officially won like
everything. Yeah,
every trophy, everything.
every
I mean,
Conference League, Europa League,
yeah.
Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao,
Uh,
Club World Cup, the Tiger. No,
congrats to them.
they don't have Tottenham's Tiger Cup though.
Tiger Cup. Meow.
Yeah,
That's who wants that.
Alan's
But
Alan. If Alan was here, he would let us
yeah, he
know
would
that
defend it. Yeah. The
they
Audi
don't have
Cup, all whatever, all the
they
stuff that
they
Spurs has
don't have
got.
the Audi Cup. Yeah, so
But whatever. I mean,
sorry,
yeah,
Chelsea.
they got all that money. Cut your losses, man. Start refresh. You're gonna suffer a little bit, but at this point, you already know who your starters are. Cut your loss with Mudrik. Cut your loss with Sanchez. Cut your loss with Jackson, and have a smaller team that is manageable.
Yeah,
Because you're paying players to do nothing. You might as well just cut. Like I said, either pay them to do nothing or you just maybe do a buyout or whatever it is, try to sell them at a cut price. At least you get those wages off. And that still adds a little bit. It helps in the long run, at least. But yeah,
yeah,
I think they just got to be a little more cutthroat and be a little aggressive and just, sorry, you're leaving. I don't care.
yep.
Either you find a team or we're going to terminate your contract. It is what it is. But I mean, I think that's what's called Abramovich, the ex
Oh,
Chelsea.
Abramovich, the owner,
Yeah,
previous
yeah,
owner.
the ex previous owner. I think that's the type of thing he would do.
Yeah,
I think he was very firm in that aspect. But I feel I think that's something they got to do. They just got to have that mentality and just sorry, you're not Chelsea quality type of player. See you later. Bye.
moving on. Yeah, at
Yeah,
the end of the day, you might be paying more money to keep these players on and
yeah,
paying their salary. Whereas if you sell them at a loss for what you paid for them, you might still be getting that money back that you would have been paying them for an extra 5 years
yeah.
or something like that. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah. Um, Manchester City. Haven't heard much after. Was it? I forget that guy's name that they just the bought. Was it Checkry or something like that?
Oh, Chekri. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. But they did a lot of their movements in the winter.
Yeah.
They got the Egyptian striker, um,
Marmouche.
Marmoush. So I think that their business is mostly done. I think, from what I understand, they're looking for some center backs, maybe some fullbacks. They need a right back and Kyle Walker back, but for Burnley. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. What if they're going to do any more business? I haven't heard much. I know that they just had a deal with an extension with Puma, which is worth like one billion euros, or that's a big one for them. I'm wearing a Puma jersey today. Not great.
You don't like him?
Nah.
I can. You remember the nipple derby or whatever it is?
Yeah, the tight. Yeah,
Yes, there you go.
yeah. So I'm probably never gonna like their jerseys if they're gonna be in it for the long run. I'm also biased too because I hate City, but yeah. So did Liverpool drop their home jersey yet?
No, that's what I was talking to Alan. I think it was last episode. There's a contract with Nike that it runs, I think, until August. So
Okay.
even during preseason or the beginning of the season, you're going to be with the Nike kit.
Okay.
And then after that, you got the Adidas coming out. So you're going to have like two
Ah,
jerseys,
weird.
this season, which is weird in a sense. This is why we haven't dropped anything yet. But of course, just all the leaks. I think they're just playing it safe. It's like the same thing with the Arsenal, like that little Coke bottle
Okay.
on the
Yeah.
chest. Of course, red, but it looks nice, simple, clean. But yeah, but that's the thing. The deal with Nike is, I think, to like the start of the preseason. So we'll probably see it maybe, hopefully in August, the kits. So I mean, we just got to hold off for that. But yeah, that's blame it on Nike.
That's a strange timeline because especially now, like teams will now wear their next season's kit on the last day of the season just to kind of like premiere it, so people kind of start buying it before the season starts. But yeah, strange timeline. But I'm sure it's happened before. I remember back in the day, I think the home jerseys were only changed every other season, and then they started staggering that with the away. So it'd be like one season they would change the home kit, and then the next season they would change the away kit. So basically,
Oh,
you were still wearing one kit for 2 seasons.
that's good for me.
Um,
I just got to buy one and I got it for 2 years, Just
yeah,
hopefully the player doesn't get sold. But yeah, I mean, but it is a weird timing because, I want to get the new kit. I want
yeah, you
to,
want to sport it.
but I want to get it before the season starts. But now I got to wait. Everyone is getting
Yeah,
their kits. Everyone is, you know, ready. And we're still wearing the same jersey from last season. And then we're going to,
yeah. You could buy a jersey, brand new jersey today, and then in another month, it's not the
yeah.
not the not the New Jersey anymore.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I mean, maybe it's strategy from Nike to like almost rub salt in the wounds for the next company, Adidas or Puma that comes in after. It's like, you know what?
Yeah,
We're not going to give you the privilege of being able to sell your jerseys quickly,
or
or
promote it.
like everyone
Yeah,
else. Yeah, so do you want to follow after us? Okay, that's what you got to do. You got to wait a little bit, but whatever. I'm excited. Hopefully they're nice. Hopefully it's like the leaked kit that I saw. But right now it's just a waiting game. It is
yeah.
what it is. At least it's Adidas. Adidas. I was looking back at
I
the
love
old school
Adidas.
Adidas.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm like, even the Reebok were nice, but
Oh,
but
classic,
I know classic,
classic.
but
The
we'll see.
Reebok.
Hopefully they can bring something like that up.
Yeah, Adidas is nice. Arsenal have been with Adidas now for about 3 seasons, I want to say, maybe four, but they've just been pretty class all along. The Coke bottle one was all right, but I did like the colors. But I think the only complaint about that was that every team who was Adidas, they kind of had the same shape.
Yeah,
Um, but they still kind of made it their own because I remember we spoke about it when we rated last season's kits at Manchester United. They're Adidas, and their kit was like a little
yeah.
weird. It was almost orangey, and it was too many different red colors, and it made it
Yeah.
look, like I said, kind of orangey. I don't know.
So we got to hold off on the kits
Yeah,
till Liverpool comes
you know
out.
what?
But
Might be a good idea to do it after everyone's played their first home game, so at least we see it with the shorts
yeah, let's
and the
see.
socks.
See if the jersey is all tight, and everything like
Exactly.
that. See
Yeah.
your muffin top, the nipples. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see.
exactly. That's
Why
why we
not?
only shoot from this high up, so you don't see the beer
Yeah,
belly.
it's like a Zoom call. Underneath, you don't want to see what's underneath.
uh, but yeah, man, I haven't heard any other rumors around the mill, but yeah, as preseason starts for a lot of teams. I know Liverpool already started. That you mentioned Darwin Nunes got on the score sheet. It was a beautiful reception for Diogo
Yeah,
Jota. A lot of respect there, which was nice to do in front of the home crowd. I'm sure there'll be something probably first home game of the season
I know.
too.
I feel like I was thinking about it. It's like it's probably waiting for the Wolves Liverpool game. I think that's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. Um, but I don't know. I was telling Alan, I think there might be something for like the fans might applaud like in the 20th minute or something
Yeah.
like that for his number. But I just know the first game, like even during the Preston game, they gave a moment of silence. They're singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and there's so many. The club captain of Preston came up with like a reef. I feel like that's going to be a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Even rivals like I think Amarin and Bruno Fernandes were went to Anfield to the Jota Memorial, but I don't know. I just think once the game starts, I mean, once the season starts and you see everything, I'll be like, oh, God damn it,
that's when you'll
tear up a little bit. You'll feel it, and it's like, wow, this is real.
That's when it's gonna hit.
Like, it's gonna hit. It's like, wow, there's, it sucks, that's life, but it's just like, wow, that's Jota's really gone, and and you can't let the emotions get to you, but you gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta play the game. And that's what it is. And, it's a nice thing. But after that, it's like, you're my rival and I'm here to win, but I expect nice things. I mean, like I said last episode, they retired the number 20, which is unheard of basically in the football world, which is nice. And they're paying out his remaining contract to the family, which is also class act. But we'll just have to wait and see when the season starts to see what other club and how everyone else pays respects to such a loss. That sucks, but it is what it is.
But on that note, I think the response has been fantastic from all the clubs around the world, from all the teams. Even in the women's Euros, there's been a lot of
exactly
respect paid to him and the player that he was. So at least he'll live on a champion. And that's all you can really hope for him. He was top of his game, and that's what he'll be remembered for. So, but yeah, all right. I think we're at the hour already.
Well, that's it, guys. I know it's sad, but we come to an end. This is the episode. Just remember to follow us on Spotify, YouTube. You can watch these lovely faces anytime now. Follow us on Instagram as well. And hopefully we'll have a picture of the winner with his new jersey. But thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. The season's almost starting, all right? So after that, things are going to be back to normal. We're going to be happy. You're going to see a lot of emotions and banter. Because that's what we are, rivals on the pitch. Well, I'm Randy, and I'm here with Pat. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye.